quick question. Do you know someone, smart person, good job, decent salary, who is always broke by the end of the month?
I think everyone knows that person.
Sometimes that person is us. Sometimes. And then you look at someone else. Quiet, simple life, nothing flashy, and somehow they are sitting on a small fortune. How?
That is the question this book answers. And the answer is not what most people expect.
Welcome back. I am Maya.
I am Alex, and this is the podcast where we break down the world's best finance books in plain English, so your money knowledge and your English fluency grow at the same time.
Last episode, we talked about Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the book that changed how millions of people think about money. If you missed it, go back and listen. It is episode 1.
Today, we go deeper, because knowing the right financial moves is not enough. The real question is, why do people who know better still make terrible decisions with money?
The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. This book does not just tell you what to do with money. It explains why your brain, my brain, every human brain is wired to get money wrong.
And once you understand that, everything changes.
20 minutes, one book, 5 English words you'll use for the rest of your life. Let's go.
So before we get into the big ideas, let's talk about Morgan Housel, because understanding who wrote this book helps you to understand why it is so different.
What makes him different from other finance writers?
He is not a billionaire. He is not a Wall Street trader. He's a writer, a financial journalist, someone who spent years watching how people, all kinds of people, behave with money. And what he noticed was fascinating.
What did he notice?
That the smartest people in the room, the ones with the best education, the best data, the best tools, often make the worst financial decisions. And ordinary people with no special knowledge sometimes build extraordinary wealth.
So intelligence is not the answer.
Not even close. Housel says managing money well has nothing to do with how smart you are. It has everything to do with how you behave. And that is the whole book in one sentence, right there. Financial success is not about intelligence. It is about behavior.
Behavior. That word is going to matter a lot today. Behavior. 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 Not what you know, not what you earn, but what you do every day with every pound, dollar, or rupee you have.
Use it like this. My behavior around money changed after I started tracking my spending. Or, good financial behavior is more valuable than a high salary.
Now, Housel opens the book with a story. And this story, I want you to really picture this, because it is one of the most surprising things I have ever read about money.
Tell them.
There was a man called Ronald Reed. He lived in Vermont in the United States. He worked as a petrol station attendant for most of his life. Then as a janitor, someone who cleans buildings. He drove an old secondhand car. He wore secondhand clothes. He pinned his coat together with a safety pin because he did not want to buy a new one.
And when he died in 2014, at the age of 92,
He left $8 million to charity. $8 million. A janitor who nobody knew was wealthy. And then Housel tells you about Richard Fosconi, Harvard educated, senior executive at a major financial firm, made millions every year, so respected that financial magazines wrote about him. And he went completely bankrupt. Same country, same time, completely opposite results. Ronald Reed, janitor, $8 million. Richard Fosconi, Harvard finance executive, bankrupt. Intelligence did not save Richard, and lack of education did not stop Ronald. So what was the difference? Behavior.
Okay, this book has 19 chapters. 19! Each one a different idea about how humans think about money. We cannot cover all 19 today, but we are going to take the 3 that will change how you think forever. Alex, first one.
No one is crazy.
Explain.
Housel says every financial decision a person makes sense to them. In their situation, with their history, with their fears, with their experience. Even decisions that look completely crazy from the outside.
Like what?
Someone who grew up in poverty, really experienced hunger and having nothing, might save obsessively and never invest, never take any risk with money. To someone who grew up comfortable, that looks irrational, foolish even. But to that person, it is the most rational thing in the world.
Because their experience taught them that money can disappear, and they never want to feel that way again.
Exactly. Housel says, we all think we understand how the world works, but we have only experienced a tiny slice of it. And that tiny slice shapes everything we believe about money.
No one is crazy. Everyone is just working with the information and experience they have.
Which means, before you judge how someone else handles money, understand where they came from. And before you judge your own habits, understand where they came from too.
Irrational. Irrational. The opposite of rational. Rational means logical, sensible. Irrational means the opposite. Emotional, fear-driven, not based on clear thinking. Use it like this. Buying lottery tickets every week is mathematically irrational, but millions of people do it. Or panic is irrational. It almost always makes financial situations worse. Okay, big idea number 2, and this one personally hit me very hard. Alex, compounding. Compounding. One of the most powerful forces in finance, and one of the most underestimated. Explain it simply. Okay, you have $100. You invested. It grows 10% in a year. Now you have $110. Next year, that 110 grows 10%. Now you have $121. Not 120, 121. Because the extra $10 also earned money. Exactly. Your earnings earn earnings, and then those earnings earn more earnings, and it keeps going, getting bigger and bigger, not in a straight line, but like a snowball rolling down a hill. Slow at first, then unstoppable. And here is the Housel insight that blew my mind. Warren Buffett, one of the richest people who has ever lived, his net worth is around $100 billion. But here is the part nobody talks about. He started investing at age 10. He's in his 90s now, almost 80 years of compounding. Housel calculated that if Warren Buffett had started investing at 30, like most people, and retired at 60, like most people, his net worth would be around $11.9 million, not $100 billion. 11.9 million versus 100 billion. Same investment skill. The only difference? Time. Time is the ingredient nobody talks about. Compounding needs time the way a fire needs oxygen. Without it, nothing happens. Compounding. Compounding. Think of it like a snowball. Small at the top of the hill, unstoppable by the bottom. And the most important English phrase connected to this word? Start early. Those 2 words, start early, are the most valuable financial advice in the English language. Start early. Say it. Start early. Whether you have a little or a lot, start. Because time is the one thing you cannot buy back. Okay, big idea number 3. And this one, I think, is the most important for how we think day to day. Alex,
What is the difference between being rich and being wealthy?
Most people think they are the same thing. Housel says they are completely different.
How?
Being rich means you have a high income right now. You earn a lot, you spend a lot, you look successful. Big house, new car, nice holidays. People see your lifestyle and think they have made it.
And wealthy?
Wealthy is invisible. Wealthy is what you do not spend. Wealth is the money you saved, invested, kept, instead of turning into things people can see. Wealth is options. Wealth is freedom. Wealth is the ability to say no.
Say that again.
Wealth is the ability to say no.
Wealth gives you the power to say no to a job you hate, no to a client who disrespects you, no to a financial decision that feels wrong. Rich people look impressive. Wealthy people have choices.
And this is where Housel makes the point that stopped me completely. He says, wealth is what you do not see. You cannot look at someone and know if they are wealthy. You can see their car. You cannot see their bank account.
The person driving the expensive car might have zero savings and enormous debt. The person driving the old car might have investments worth millions.
We judge wealth by what we see, but real wealth hides.
And here is the trap this creates. We try to look wealthy. We buy things to signal success to others. And in doing so, we actually destroy the chance to become wealthy.
We spend the money that could have been wealth on things that just look like wealth.
One more time. We spend the money that could have been wealth on things that just look like wealth.
That sentence should be printed on every credit card. Wealth and frugal. Two words that belong together. Frugal. Frugal. Careful with money. Not cheap, not stingy. Intentional.
Ronald Reed, the janitor with $8 million, was frugal. He chose to live simply so his wealth could grow invisibly. That was not a lack of ambition. That was a strategy. And now you know the difference between looking rich and being wealthy. Between spending to impress and saving to be free. Two very different paths. One very clear choice.
Okay, Alex, real talk moment. Because I think there is something this book says that is both comforting and uncomfortable at the same time. Go ahead. Housel is very clear. Your financial situation is partly your fault. Your behavior matters. Your choices matter. But, and this is the part I love, he also says luck plays a bigger role than we admit.
This is one of the most honest things any finance writer has ever said. He talks about Bill Gates. Bill Gates went to one of the only high schools in America that had a computer in 1968. One of the only schools. That was not skill. That was luck.
And he used that luck brilliantly, but the luck had to come first. Housel is not saying do nothing and hope for luck. He is saying acknowledge that luck exists. Be grateful when it works in your favor. Be compassionate when it works against someone else. Because the person who is struggling financially, maybe they made bad choices. Or maybe they were born in the wrong place at the wrong time to the wrong family. And we often cannot see which one it is from the outside. Humility about success. Compassion about failure. That is what Housel asks for.
And practically, what does he say you should actually do? What is the behavior that works?
3 things. Save more than you think you need, because the future is uncertain and no one can predict it. Give yourself room for error. Always have a buffer so one bad month does not destroy years of progress. and stay in the game. The biggest financial mistake is being forced out, losing everything, giving up. The people who build wealth are not always the smartest investors. They are the ones who stayed consistent for the longest time. Save, buffer, stay in the game. 3 behaviors, repeated for years. That is the formula.
And notice, none of those 3 things require a high salary. They do not require a finance degree. They just require behavior. Consistent, patient, quiet behavior.
Like Ronald Reed, the janitor with $8 million.
Okay, same as last episode. Let's bring everything together in one real conversation, using all 5 words from today, naturally, the way real people actually talk.
2 colleagues. One just read The Psychology of Money. They're discussing it over lunch.
Let's go. I finished The Psychology of Money last night. I could not put it down.
What was the biggest thing that hit you?
The wealth versus rich difference. I always thought they were the same, but wealth is invisible. It is what you save and keep, not what you spend.
That changed how I think about everything I buy. Every time I spend now, I think, is this wealth or does it just look like wealth?
Exactly. And the compounding chapter, I never really understood why starting early matters so much until I saw the Warren Buffett example.
80 years of compounding. That is the real secret, not genius. Time.
And did the Ronald Reed story surprise you? A janitor, completely frugal his whole life, dies with $8 million?
That story alone is worth the whole book. His behavior was more powerful than any investment strategy.
Do you think most people's financial problems are irrational behavior, or is it more complicated?
Both. Housel is very clear. Some of it is our choices, but luck plays a role too. The honest answer is focus on your behavior. Control what you can control, and stop judging what you cannot see. Save more. Stay consistent. Give yourself room to make mistakes. That is the whole book in one sentence.
Did you catch all 5 words today?
Behavior, irrational, compounding, wealth, frugal. All 5 in a real conversation. Natural, comfortable, effortless.
Because that is the goal. Not to memorize words, to own them, to think in them, to use them without thinking.
And you are already doing that right now, just by listening.
Before we go, 3 things from today that you must remember.
1. Financial success is about behavior, not intelligence. What you do consistently matters more than what you know.
2. Wealth is invisible. Real wealth is what you keep and invest, not what you spend on things people can see.
3. Compounding needs time. Start early, even small amounts, because time is the one ingredient money cannot replace.
And your 5 English words today? Behavior, irrational, compounding, wealth, frugal.
Use them this week. Write 1 sentence for each. Say them out loud. Make them part of how you think.
Next episode, I will teach you to be rich by Ramit Sethi, the book that tells young people exactly what to do with money, step by step, in language that actually makes sense. No jargon, no fear, just a plan.
Subscribe wherever you listen. Share this episode with one person who is learning English or trying to understand money better.
And leave us a comment. Which story hit you hardest today? Ronald Reed, the janitor? Warren Buffett and time? Or the wealth versus rich idea?
We read every single comment. Every one.
Thank you for being here. I am Maya.
I am Alex.
And this is the podcast where your wallet and your English grow together. See you next time.
Complete vocabulary summary. Episode 2. Behavior. Meaning, the way a person acts and makes decisions, especially with money. Example 1. Financial success comes from good behavior, not just good intentions. Example 2. Her saving behavior changed completely after she tracked her spending for 1 month. Irrational. Meaning, not based on logic, driven by emotion, fear, or habit. Example 1. Selling investments in a panic is irrational but very common. Example 2. Fear makes even intelligent people irrational with their money. Compounding. Meaning, earnings that generate more earnings. Growth that builds on itself over time. Example 1. Compounding rewards patience more than intelligence. Example 2. The earlier you start, the more powerful compounding becomes. Wealth. Meaning, saved and invested money that gives you choices and freedom. Example 1. Wealth is invisible. It lives in accounts, not in cars or clothes. Example 2. Building wealth takes time, patience, and consistent behavior. Frugal. Meaning, careful and intentional with money, spending less than you earn by choice. Example 1. Being frugal is a strategy, not a limitation. Example 2. The most frugal people are often the wealthiest. You just cannot see it.